This time a more playable 10-9 for Vicky App, but he's keeping under control. Martin with King 9 offsuit. Again, probably wrong position to play that hand. Right, play the rush. Nope, decides to fold. Tomas, local Slovakian, folds. And a nice hand. First hand for Andre. Hasn't played a hand yet. He'll get respect, but he is on the button. Got ace king, so might get a call from the ace six. Be a bit of a loose call. I think he's shoved. Oh, this is bad timing. Small blind. Domagoj Jurčić from Croatia has shoved. Fairly confident smell there. And snap call. Oh, look, he's very pleased with himself there. Getting out of that with ace jack, that really is. So, can the six find some way of winning? Oh, good flop for ace jack suited. And now Faye maybe he would have won a long way. He would have had the nut flush. They're not quite so happy now. Not dancing now. We are down to 8 players. Right, pretty looking queen 10 suited, but very early position. Nice hand, but tricky spot. Doesn't deter Martin though. Miroslav with king queen offsuit. Just elects to call. So 2 players in the pot already. Quite a few players behind. And the problem is with all the flat calls to the original raise, that may tempt someone to make a play later on. Still 3 players to go through. Button folds. Don't necessarily need a good hand to make a play back, but does help. Going to be in pretty good shape, to be honest. 8-9, got a chance of picking up the whole pot, but does not want to pull the trigger, and I understand that. Each ladder is going to be well over 1,000 each time. 4-6 queen, king queen is leading. No hearts for either Martin or Andre. So Miroslav in a good position here with top pair, but needs to bet it, needs to work it out. Here comes the bet with top pair. Second kicker. Be tricky when it comes back round to Martin. Should just see a fold here from Andre. Does have a gut shot. 5 would give him a straight. But not great odds. Now, what does Martin do? Could get himself in trouble here. Tricky spot for Martin. Electing to call the 450. That doesn't really change things. 2.4 million in the pot already. Miroslav covered by Martin in seat 1. I think he needs to play this more aggressively. Check, check. The king queen will take this. This could take a while, folks. And he called. And he gets the bad news. Nice pot there for Miroslav. Another king 9, this time suited for David. In seat 3, our chip leader. A lot of players come down from the Czech Republic. Of course, Slovakia used to be part of Czechoslovakia until it split into 2 separate countries. On the button this time, we're going to see a strong re-raise here, and I'm pretty sure he'll get respect from David. Looks like it's over 1 million. It's a pretty good hand as well for Nandor, but he has to let this go. Big blind will let this go. Let's see how David retaliates to being re-raised. Just calls. It's out of position. Faye does not want to see an ace or a king on board, and he sees a king, and David is blessed in this competition so far. How's he going to play it though? He's checked. I like this. He's looking, maybe worried about ace king. Faye in a really tight spot here. He's made a strong bet. And now he could be put to the test. The only effective hand is aces or ace king that David's losing to. So I think he's just going to look to check call this through. I know queens is a big hand, but he got called. I'm not sure he's done too much thinking about what he could be called with. He's been called twice as well. Post flop. Going to be in a very difficult spot on the river unless he hits his queen. That's even worse. An ace. Even worse card for Faye. Tough spot. Yep, checks, and he's going to get the bad news. Can't believe he was called by King 9. A bit of disgust there and bemoaning his luck. Miroslav with the King Jack under the gun. Coming in with a raise. Easier decision this time for Faye with the 6-2 offsuit. Yep, he calls. Let's see if he can get something out of this flop. Well, he has. He's up and down with the King, Queen, Jack 10. But Miroslav has moved into the lead with top pair. I don't think Martin's going to fold for one bet for sure. So fairly small bet. 4 or 500, 400 against an early raiser. So if he does want to see another card, yeah, just make the call, and he does. Wow. And I think, knowing Martin, we'll see a check. We do indeed. Not a good card for Miroslav at all here. Still got top pair and the gut shot draw, but Martin has filled up. Nice check behind. Another 9. Snap call there, and he's going to get the bad news that he's lost a good 2/3 of his stack by the look of it. And pretty unlucky with top pair there, but didn't even consider the option that Martin may have the straight. Martin now in a very strong position, up to 8.8 million. Well played that well with the check on the turn. Got maximum.
Ace queen you had. Nice.
Already, I have none. I have no delay.
About my hand. Oh, okay.
He had ace queen.
Yeah.
Good fold then.
Spades. I have no deal.
Where did you see then without delay?
It's how long delay? Half 1 hour? Half hour? Half an hour.
Pair of tens now. Martin has increased his stack significantly in seat one, but he hasn't actually had that many kind of top hands. So here he is with a very strong pair, making the race to 400. Oh, this is interesting. Ace, king suited for our chip leader. Going to be a tough spot for Martin when it comes back round. 1.5 million. It says a million on the screen, but looked like 1.5 million. Just decided to call. Yeah, I think our graphics are slightly wrong there. And there's the king. Ace king has moved ahead of the tens. So bet's coming up. It'll be about just over the million, I think. Only one overcard to his tens. Calls off a million. Two's no help to anyone. Are we going to see some fireworks with a shove? You will get called. A fold, a more sensible option. Well played, both players there. Lovely pot for David and David and Martin did his best to fight back, but cost a little bit more than the Banco Masters. Fabulous value for all our European players and our Israeli players that come over it in a few. People like seat 8 from India. Ace jack now for our chip leader who raises. Unable to find the right spot or the right hand to fight back against our chip leader David at the moment. Oh wow. Has Andre made an all-in play here with 9-7? Or just a 3-bet to 1.1 million? Again, like Thomas, has not been getting his run of cards, or his fair run of cards in this final so far. Just calls for the ace king. Wow. What does David do? You going to try and use his stack to take them both out? He might really have to fold here. Wow, 3 to a flop. Other players getting excited. Some we could lose a player in a 3-way coup. Already 3.6 million in the pot. Who's going to hit this? Yeah, David again. Our chip leader hits top pair. Second pair for Andre and our ace king. And I think he got himself in trouble there with just flat calling. I didn't like the call there at all. He really should be maximising the shove there. Now a gut shot draw for the...
Bet 1 million.
And now he's coming in with $1 million. With a gut shot draw. Ace king with the jack 10. What's David going to do? Top pair, top kicker. What hand is he going to be worried about? Calls the $1 million. And that is a very good card for the ace jack. Right, the board's actually changed from what it was. It was a 9 on the first card before. Now it shows a 4.
Showdown. Showdown.
Nice big pot for David, and I think Nandor got himself in all sorts of trouble by not shoving the pre-flop with the ace king. He just flat called the 4-bet, and that was, I think, the worst of all. He's taking the safer approach, but he's up against a pair of 10s. So he's raised to 420. The button with that kind of hand. Much harder for 10s to call 2.5 million than to make a raise. And there it goes. Tricky spot now for Vikiat. Got the hand to double up, but will he call? $50-50, and he calls. 10s against ace-jack suited. It's as good as he can ask for, really. Doesn't want to be up against an ace-king or an ace-queen. Martin's 10s got beaten by ace-king the last time he had them. Can they hold this time? Here comes the flop. 5.2 million in that pot. King 6-2. Ace-jack needs to hit in these last two cards. Drawing thin now. 20% equity. And that is 8th place for our Indian friend Vicky, on top of the 2nd place. Thomas with a suited ace, shoving on the button. against David's naughty early raise. But we've got ace king. This is our fireworks hand, people. Hold on to your chairs. Once he's had to think about it, these chips are going in. Ace king. And there it goes. David's bit of Hollywood that he's got a really big hand when we know he doesn't. Made the raise, but will fold. He's up against ace king, needs to spike a 7 or some diamonds. There's the 7. And now the player at risk has the ace king. He's standing up, getting his coat, getting the extra 10%. Needs to hit a king now. 3 kings in the deck, otherwise we will lose our 7th place finisher. There's the king. Wow. Ace king gets there in the end with a big double up. Bit of support from his neighbour Thomas, feeling that one. Hardly had a hand, finally hits a flop. Ace 3 considering the shove, decides to fold in the end. Probably not the greatest raise, because if you raise and you get a re-raise, you pretty well always have to fold. So better just to fold. Or shove if you feel that's the right play. I was saying certainly one of the more creative ones. Andre from Czech Republic makes raises with, I think we've seen 9-7, we've seen now with king 7, but we've got a mid ace. Yeah, see, even an ace 6 is folding. Queen 10 may not fold so easily. Getting over 4-1 to call. If he hits, he's got the implied odds as well. I think he shoved though. I like that. Even better. Andre's got to fold. Yeah. Nice play, Andor. Read the situation very well there. You may need to bet this to win it, but I don't think with this flop he's going to. Martin should be betting this. He has a tendency of checking the flop and then betting the turn, which is what he's doing here. Not necessarily when he's hit, although this is very good timing. The jack comes to give his opposition a pair when he checked the board, and he's hit his flush. This is pretty impressive. It's a lovely flop here. Sorry, lovely turn. Just brings in Nandor. He's going to find it hard to fold this with the way the betting's gone. And then he's in a very tricky spot. Looks like he's just calling. Martin doesn't want to see another spade. Wow, That could slow him right down. He's got the 5 of spades. He had a very good hand on the turn, but that's a awful card for Martin. And bad news for Nandor. That slowed all action down. I think Nandor did well not to lose more there, to be honest. And we have all-in situation of King Jack by Thomas, who's not had a hand, against 5s for the even stacks. The Jack's hit. Bad news for our Czech player. Bratislava against Czech Republic. And Jack cold, so we have an elimination. Finally, it's been a very long. Three players in that danger zone, sub 15 big blinds. Thomas now, with a very, very patient, has doubled up into the 25 big blind kind of safety area. Under the gun, raising to 600 with a pair of 6s. Counting out the call with a much better ace-jack suited. Very careful player, Thomas. Don't know whether the others have picked up on that. His call would be another player's raise. Martin looking to hit another 9 or 8 like he did before. Thomas has hit his ace. Martin has a gut shot to the 8-9. I don't think he'll get a chance to see that card though. Pretty sure Thomas will be betting. If he gets so, there's a C bet. Oh, I apologise. I thought he had the 8-9. He's got a set of 6s. Thomas could be in trouble here. Ace-jack top pair with a good kicker against a set of 6s, and Martin's bet this pretty cute. Thomas could be in a world of trouble here. He doesn't like putting lots of chips in. That might be his saving grace on this hand. Wow, does not want to hit his jack. Close. Oh, well. My prediction factor's working well. Exactly 1.2. Just lucky there, to be honest. But it's the right size bet, that kind of size, to entice the call, but not too much to raise the red flag. This is very well played by Martin so far. He's gone all in. It's the over bet. It's the over bet. Thomas really in a world of pain here. He's got top pair with a good kicker. What does he think he's up against? Well, if he calls, he is out in sixth. He's fought so hard to get back from a small stack and just not getting any hands. Wow, great fold, Thomas. Absolutely great fold. He just could not put that down as a bluff. It was a very good bet. Still not sure, but when he goes back and sees this replay, he's going to be proud of himself, whatever the outcome. It was a really tough position, and great fold. Two players now on 10, 11 big blinds. We are in danger zones. This is one of them. This is the other. We have a stack, quite fun to raise with 5-2 suited. If you are very short stacked, it's not a hand you want to see. Got an ace to hit though. Big double up if he hits. Lost to a set of sixes with his last ace jack, but at least he shoved with this one. Don't mind it at all. If he loses, he loses, but not a great flop for his hand. Needs to hit an ace from space. Just an ace, or we will lose our 6th place finisher. And our chip leader will increase his chip lead. There we go. So we lose Thomas. Played very solid. Really had very little to play with. Made a great fold. Just a call with the 9s. Ace Queen is going in as well. We're going to be 3-way here. Just to remind you, 6th place is 6,350 and 5th is 8,475. I think he's folded. Yep, looks like he's folded his Ace Queen. He's not going to be too happy when he sees the 8s and 9s. It's a good opportunity to treble up. This is a decision to win tournaments or just to ladder. He made a decision because he could have been out 7th to try and ladder. Let's see what the flop does. Oh, 2 kings. Interesting. Not an ace or a queen.
Bam!
Not the most polite way of winning a hand, my friend. And the ace would have hit and he would have lost. And he jubilantly saved himself there. And a nice double up there for the 8s against the 9s. Five-handed though. Nope, doesn't like it. Not too happy about the last hand, almost certainly. For 9s to lose against 8s, it's pretty Hard to take that one. Looks like it's an all-in with the ace-10, and jacks will call. Ace-10 against jacks, and we know one ace-10's gone already. So this could be the end for Fei Hao Li from China. I think he's fairly regular face around here, though. Oh, 2 comes into the equation now. Big hand here. Fernando, he's got kings under the gun. Won't make too much, just a small raise. And he shoves, and he will get called for sure. Queens against kings against a7. And the queen hits, but the nut flush for Martin. No one has gone yet. This is an incredible hand. Top set of queens. Kings is now behind. Luckily, he covers them all. The ace has hit, but it needs a heart. Single ace, no good. Needs to see a heart, Martin, to stay alive, or it will be a treble up for Marichef. So we finally lose. This time it's Maroslav's turn to have the small pair on the button. I think David will re-raise with the ace-jack, and he does. And 3 players got hands here. Nandor looking at the stacks. No, I'm not quite sure why he's looking at the stacks. Is he really going to play 8-3 offsuit? Looks like we've got a all-in and a call. The ace is hit. Going very thin now, just a 4. And good hand for our initial chip leader, who is back down to 3rd. So we have an all-in situation. King 7 is at risk, and the ace hits. So we will lose Marislav in 3rd place, and we are now heads up, barring, it is now certain. Drawing dead. Well, he fought back very, very well. Lines 250, 500. King Queen raise for David, and this could be trouble with the King 9. We're all in. This could be the final hand of the night. 22 million in the pot. And the extra 10% could be going the way of David, who started this final day and final table as a massive chip leader and has fought back well. He was third out of 3 for quite a long time. At the moment, the King Queen is holding. Only a 9 will save the day for a very well played Hungarian. And it is over. So we have a winner, but they both took 29,700 each, and the extra goes to our Czech friend who played a very good final table.
GG, bro. Great.